But at this specific concert in Kansas City at the T-Mobile Arena, there was an elderly man in the video that is seen being attacked by a younger guy, like a really younger guy.
Elderly man was at the show? Or was
the
he
elderly
working?
man was working at the arena. He was
security, right?
Yeah, he was security. They have a different name for him.
Following NBA YoungBoy's concert in New Orleans, pandemonium broke out on the streets as fans rushed towards him, shouting his name. However, the situation took an unexpected twist when the police arrived and pulled him away. Currently, it is rumored that he has been prohibited from performing in Louisiana. What caused this incident, and what are the implications moving forward? Let's analyze the situation. The New Orleans night that had the whole city going crazy. It's October 19th, 2025, and the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans is absolutely buzzing with excitement. NBA YoungBoy has just taken the stage for his first performance back in Louisiana after a 7-year hiatus, and every single seat in the arena is filled to capacity with fans who have been eagerly awaiting this moment as if it were their last meal. Green lights, his signature color symbolizing the never broke again mentality and resilience through all the challenges, illuminate the entire venue as the bass reverberates and thousands of voices erupt in unison. This isn't merely another concert for fans. This is undeniably a homecoming for one of the most authentic, most streamed, and most controversial rappers in the industry today. But wait, let me enlighten you about what's truly happening, because this entire scenario is much more profound than just another tour stop. This New Orleans event is part of NBA YoungBoy's extensive tour. That stands for Make America Slime Again, in case you weren't aware. A wild 45-date nationwide arena tour that commenced in Dallas back in September 2025 and is set to conclude in Seattle in mid-November. We're talking full production mode here, with supporting acts featuring heavyweights like Offset, 2C, and No Cap. Lighting that transforms the entire venue into something extraordinary, pyrotechnics exploding as if it's the 4th of July, and a setlist drawn from YoungBoy's astonishing catalog of over 26 albums and mixtapes. Brubbin is delivering hits non-stop, and his loyal fans know every single lyric by heart. Now here's where things get particularly intriguing, my friend. The New Orleans Police Department was not taking any chances with security. They showed up in force. Over 400 officers, yes, you heard that correctly. 400 police were deployed throughout the French Quarter and central business districts surrounding the venue. We're talking tactical units stationed everywhere, surveillance drones monitoring from above, and even armored vehicles strategically placed throughout the entire area. Why was there such a heavy presence, though? NBA YoungBoy's tour had already been incredibly wild, filled with drama, disruptions, and outright cancellations in other cities. New Orleans was determined not to let their city become another headline for the wrong reasons, you feel me? The venue enforced a strict no-bag policy to ensure everything ran smoothly and to minimize any potential security threats. No purses, no backpacks, nothing at all. Just you and your ticket, that's all. NOPD assistant Superintendent Hans Ganthier even publicly advised concertgoers to leave their guns at home, cautioning about the risk of break-ins if firearms were left in vehicles. The message was unmistakable, no doubt about it. They were taking every precaution possible to ensure this show went off without a hitch. And honestly, inside that arena, everything was as smooth as butter. The show was absolutely on fire. YoungBoy delivered hit after hit from his vast catalog, blending his raw emotional style with themes of loyalty and street life that have made him one of the most viewed rappers on YouTube, boasting over 15 billion views. Fans were singing every single word. The production was top-notch, featuring dancers in military fatigues and dramatic coffin entrances, creating an electric atmosphere. The concert concluded around midnight, leaving thousands of attendees energized and buzzing from the experience. But here's where our story really heats up and takes a wild turn that had everyone talking for days. It was around 1 to 2 in the morning on Monday, October 20th, coincidentally NBA YoungBoy's 26th birthday, when the rapper made a move that would spark chaos in downtown New Orleans. Rather than retreating to his home or quietly marking his birthday, YoungBoy opted for a spontaneous adventure, taking a leisurely walk through the streets of New Orleans, accompanied by a small group of around 8 individuals, notably without a dedicated security team. He began his stroll near the bustling intersection of Canal Street and Bourbon Street, two of the most famous and crowded locations in the entire French Quarter. Now, take a moment to consider this, my friend. You have one of the most recognizable faces in hip-hop, just coming off a sold-out arena performance with thousands of fans who have exited the venue, still buzzing and wandering the streets. What do you think is about to happen? Footage captured during those early morning hours shows YoungBoy casually dressed in a black jacket and sunglasses, walking confidently along Canal Street at first. Initially, the atmosphere was quite relaxed. Only a few fans recognized him, rushing over for quick photos, expressing words of admiration and support. You can sense the thrill in their voices, the genuine emotion of encountering someone they admire right there in front of them, and seemingly enjoying his night like any ordinary person celebrating their birthday. However, news travels quickly when smartphones and social media are involved. Do you understand? In just a few minutes, what began with a small group of excited supporters rapidly grew into hundreds of individuals gathering at his location. The crowd expanded significantly, spilling over onto Bourbon Street. Suddenly, a dense mob situation was unfolding in real time, with fans pushing forward in a desperate attempt to get closer, shouting his name, reaching out to touch him, and trying to capture that perfect selfie or video. The gathering quickly turned chaotic, shifting from a cool, spontaneous street moment to a scenario where movement became restricted and potentially hazardous for everyone involved. This is where the NOPD officers, who were already present in the area for the concert, they reacted promptly to the evolving situation. Numerous videos from the scene, including footage from Project NOLA cameras and various cell phones, depict a dramatic police intervention. In one particularly viral clip that has been circulating, you can see around 4 to 6 officers physically grabbing him by the arms, torso, and shoulders, carrying him backward through the crowd toward a waiting vehicle parked nearby. And the fans? They are absolutely going wild, shouting his name at the top of their lungs as the police work to extract him from the chaos. What's intriguing about this footage is that YoungBoy himself seems somewhat hesitant about the escort. He isn't aggressively resisting the police or anything like that, but it's clear he appears reluctant to leave the area so suddenly. This is his city, his people, his moment, and he's being physically taken away from it. The intervention was brief, lasting only a few minutes, during which the police skillfully guided him through the large crowd without resorting to any serious force, apart from the essential physical assistance needed to ensure his safe exit. No weapons were brandished, and no aggressive strategies were employed. It was simply a prompt and professional extraction aimed at averting what could have quickly turned into a perilous situation. The NOPD subsequently issued an official statement to clarify the entire event. There was absolutely no criminal activity involved at all. No arrests were made. This was solely a matter of crowd management to guarantee public safety, both for NBA YoungBoy and for the hundreds of fans who might have been harmed in the ensuing chaos. The entire episode, from the moment the crowd began to gather until a YoungBoy left in that vehicle, took less than 10 minutes. However, those 10 minutes encapsulated something profoundly significant about the bond between this artist and his fan base, reflecting the raw, unfiltered connection that thrives in a city of great importance to him. And here's the twist. This incident did not affect the scheduled second performance at the Smoothie King Center on Monday, October 20th. That show proceeded as intended with similar security protocols in place, and the NOPD maintained a strong presence throughout downtown and the French Quarter during that time. YoungBoy's choice to walk openly through New Orleans underscored his ties to his roots in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, regions that have significantly shaped his music and contributed to his identity. The footage from that evening captures the vibrant energy of the crowd, showcasing a remarkable blend of celebration and profound affection as fans donned green-themed outfits that mirrored his Never Broke Again brand, with cheers resonating throughout the streets. However, although New Orleans was able to manage the disorder with the tour from hell, beef, brawls, and cities, shutting it down. Let's be frank about what has undoubtedly been one of the most outrageous, controversial, and attention-grabbing tours in contemporary hip-hop history. The MASA Tour, or Make America Slime Again, marks NBA YoungBoy's inaugural major headlining arena tour, featuring a 45-date nationwide schedule produced by Live Nation in collaboration with his Never Broke Again label. We're talking about enormous venues, sold-out audiences in cities across the country, with ticket prices ranging from $50 for the upper levels to over $500 for those coveted VIP packages. This tour has been raking in millions in revenue, highlighting YoungBoy's significant commercial appeal. However, beneath the surface of those sold-out performances and impressive statistics lies a series of security challenges, violent incidents, venue cancellations, situations so outrageous that you truly have to witness them to believe. The disruptions began almost immediately after the tour launched in Dallas on September 1st, establishing a tumultuous atmosphere that would follow them from one city to the next. On September 10th, 2025, during the second stop at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, a full-blown brawl broke out among fans in the stands just as YoungBoy began performing his hit song, Lonely Child. Footage from within that packed 20,000-seat arena reveals utter chaos, with fans pushing each other, fists flying, people falling over seats, and security personnel rushing in from all sides to restore order. The altercation spanned multiple sections of the arena, necessitating brief pauses in the performance as security attempted to regain control. Remarkably, no arrests were made, and the show resumed once order was reestablished, but it served as an early indication that this tour was destined for turbulence. Just days later, the situation escalated significantly. On September 21st, 2025, at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri, an event took place that stunned everyone and raised significant concerns regarding fan conduct and the safety of the venue. Video footage surfaced depicting a brutal altercation between a young fan and an elderly arena staff member, which would later be recognized as one of the most troubling incidents of the tour. A 14-year-old fan reportedly jumped on a 66-year-old usher. Indeed, you heard that correctly. A teenager physically assaulted an elderly staff member, striking and kicking him in a viral video that circulated on social media rapidly. Shawnee Ross, the venue's VP of Sales and Marketing, released a statement highlighting the injuries suffered by several team members, all of whom required on-site first aid before being taken to the hospital for additional treatment. The video footage was promptly submitted to local law enforcement. The minor was apprehended that same evening, and the case was referred to prosecutors. This incident was not merely a trivial altercation. It constituted a serious assault that prompted immediate concerns regarding age restrictions, venue security measures, and the intense, occasionally volatile atmosphere generated by NBA YoungBoy's concerts. However, the most significant repercussions manifested as outright cancellations, often linked to genuine safety concerns surrounding YoungBoy's well-publicized feud, particularly with Chicago rapper Lil Durk. The conflict between these two extends beyond mere rap lyrics and social media exchanges. It carries real-world consequences stemming from the tragic death of King Von in 2020 and subsequent violent occurrences. The most notable cancellation occurred on September 24th, 2025, when Chicago's United Center unexpectedly called off NBA YoungBoy's scheduled performance just one day prior to the event. The venue's official statement referenced their inability to ensure the safety of concert-goers, following intelligence regarding potential violence associated with the ongoing feud. Consider the implications of that. A major venue in one of America's largest cities deciding that they cannot guarantee the safety of attendees at this concert. Fans who had already purchased tickets, including some who arrived at the arena grounds prior to the announcement, were denied entry. One can only imagine the frustration, anger, and disappointment felt. YoungBoy's manager, Alex Jr., took to social media to publicly criticize the venue for a last-minute cancellation, voicing his discontent regarding the decision and its repercussions on fans who had traveled from afar.
And they wanted to do the show. It got canceled abruptly by the venue. So because they didn't cancel, and usually if you see how these contracts read, is only time you don't get paid is if you don't do your deliverables, or what they call is like an act of God, like the building blow up or something, right? But no, they made it so they got paid.
The security issues continued to escalate as the tour went on. On October 13th at Colonial Life Arena, YoungBoy had to halt his performance mid-set after a fan persistently threw objects, possibly bottles or clothing, onto the stage. His frustration was evident as he spoke directly to the audience over the microphone. "This is a YoungBoy show. Don't mess with me tonight." Security quickly escorted the individual out of the venue, and after a tense 5-minute intermission, where the atmosphere was thick with tension, the concert resumed. However, incidents like this contribute to the narrative of chaotic energy, necessitating YoungBoy to take charge of his audience in ways that reflect his rebellious persona. Then came Atlanta. On October 15th, 2025, the situation at State Farm Arena nearly spiraled out of control when a confrontation occurred at the VIP entrance involving YoungBoy's entourage, which included prominent guest streamer Adin Ross and his security, along with local police. The situation escalated to the extent that officers actually refused entry. Tensions flared with shouting and physical confrontations captured on video, and for a moment, it seemed as though the show might be canceled entirely. Ultimately, cooler heads prevailed, de-escalation took place, and the show continued. But the damage had already been done. By October 17th, the lingering repercussions from this altercation resulted in the complete cancellation of a rescheduled Atlanta date, with officials citing ongoing safety concerns. Amidst all this chaos, numerous smaller incidents have occurred that illustrate just how intense these shows have become. Fights have erupted during several performances, performances, with viral videos showcasing full-blown brawls in the pit sections during high-energy tracks. Fans have truly surged into the floor sections at various venues, overwhelming the security personnel stationed at the stairs leading down from the upper levels. They rushed down and claimed any available seats they desired, driven by their eagerness to be nearer to the stage. There are videos capturing this event, showcasing security being completely overpowered by the sheer volume of fans who were seen picking up chairs and rearranging them to create their own seating. Additionally, there are incidents related to the ongoing conflict with Lil Durk, which adds an extra layer of tension to every performance. At concerts in Newark and New Jersey, fans who dared to express support for the rival rapper faced immediate and violent repercussions from YoungBoy's supporters. Those who shouted "Free Durk" or "Free Smirk," which is Durk's nickname, were quickly confronted by YoungBoy's entourage and nearby fans. One viral video depicts a fan being brutally attacked by several individuals after calling out Durk's name, resulting in a brief but violent altercation that required security intervention to prevent it from escalating further. In response to these escalating security issues, venues and local authorities have been compelled to adopt increasingly stringent measures. This includes reintroducing metal detectors at every entrance, conducting thorough bag checks despite no bag policies, increasing police presence both inside and outside arenas, and in some instances, such as in New Orleans, deploying hundreds of officers throughout entire neighborhoods. The financial stakes are enormous, as each concert can potentially generate millions from ticket sales, merchandise, concessions, and parking. This is why stakeholders like Live Nation have continued to push ahead, rescheduling when feasible and absorbing the costs associated with cancellations. Despite numerous disruptions, including at least 4 complete cancellations and various security interventions in many cities, the MASA tour has continued to thrive. By mid-October 2025, YoungBoy had performed in over 30 cities, modifying his strategy to include positive interactions with fans, pausing shows to resolve fights and convey messages of unity, while also upholding the high production standards that his audience anticipates. However, to truly grasp why NBA YoungBoy's tour evokes such intensity, chaos, and steadfast loyalty from the streets, one must understand the man himself and the journey that led him to this pivotal moment. The real one behind the madness, NBA YoungBoy's impact on the streets. To truly understand the intensity, chaos, and unwavering loyalty that NBA YoungBoy's tour evokes from the hood, one must delve into the man himself and the journey that led him to this point. Born Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden on October 20th, 1999 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, YoungBoy grew up in conditions that would overwhelm most individuals. With a father serving a life sentence for murder and a mother struggling with addiction, he was primarily raised by his grandmother in a small Section 8 apartment located in one of the city's most perilous neighborhoods. This was not merely a state of poverty, it was a daily fight for survival, maneuvering through a reality where violence was commonplace and opportunities were nearly non-existent. At the age of 11, he discovered rap through YouTube tutorials, utilizing a modest $200 microphone connected to his grandmother's old computer to record his initial verses in her living room. This do-it-yourself mentality, characterized by its raw and unrefined authenticity, laid the groundwork for his musical style, a blend of trap's booming beats, melodic auto-tune that conveys real emotion, and aggressive flows that can transition from reflective whispers to fierce bars within a single verse. His production choices lean towards sparse, haunting beats featuring piano loops and unsettling synths that reflect the emotional solitude expressed in his lyrics, crafting songs that resonate more as late-night confessions from someone who seems far too young to bear such weight. From those modest beginnings in the trenches, YoungBoy's creative output has been nothing less than remarkable. Since 2015, he has released more than 26 albums, mixtapes, and EPs, amassing billions of streams across various platforms. We're talking over 20 billion streams on Spotify, a YouTube channel boasting 10 million subscribers that has generated more than 15 billion total views, making him the most watched rapper on the platform, alongside a work ethic that borders on obsessive. Even during times of house arrest and incarceration, he has managed to release music at an astonishing rate, dropping over 100 songs while confined to his Utah mansion under federal supervision. However, it's not merely about the volume. The content strikes a profound chord with his fan base from the streets. YoungBoy's lyrics inhabit a compelling duality, celebrating the hustle and grind of street life while also examining its devastating impact. He raps about stolen cars, firearms, and aspirations of wealth in tracks where, over triumphant production, he shares stories of rising from the block to success, all while his mother weeps, yet he is able to buy her a house with his earnings. These lyrics go beyond mere bravado. They are tales of survival, rags to riches stories that serve as guides for young individuals facing similar challenges in tough environments. The never broke again mantra transcends being just just a brand or label. It embodies a lifestyle that influences everything he undertakes. It symbolizes a rebellion against the clutches of poverty, resilience in the face of systemic challenges, and a steadfast dedication to breaking generational cycles.
His supporters fully embody this philosophy, arriving at concerts dressed in intricate outfits featuring oversized hoodies adorned with slime emojis, head-to-toe green-themed clothing, and custom sneakers painted in vibrant neon green. The visual consistency at his performances is remarkable. It feels as if one is stepping into a living, breathing manifestation of his aesthetic, where tens of thousands of individuals have united to represent this movement. His fan base, often referring to themselves as YNs, which stands for Young Niggas, predominantly consists of teenagers and young adults from urban, underserved areas who deeply resonate with his themes of poverty, betrayal, resilience, and emotional openness. When YoungBoy takes the stage, these events transcend mere concerts. They transform into shared experiences, collective purges of pain, and celebrations of survival from the streets. Fans are familiar with every single lyric of songs that reflect their real-life experiences, rapping along with a fervor and intensity that is truly inspiring to observe. Both critics and fans have drawn parallels between the loyalty his generation exhibits towards him and the admiration previous generations held for icons like Tupac or Lil Wayne.
And what he's doing at these shows,
it ain't just the shows. That's what me and you had this argument a long time ago. No, not me. Zaire was up here too. But yo, they love like the way the generation after us looked at Wayne.
Zaire compared him to Tupac, and
is how they look at YoungBoy though.
I get it.
He's that nigga. Like they would die for this nigga for real.
Clearly.
Attendees of the tour frequently describe the atmosphere as cult-like in the most genuine sense, with collective sing-alongs resembling family reunions from the neighborhood, where every lyric serves as a shared release for personal challenges, reflected in YoungBoy's expressions of anxiety, loss, and resolve. A fan from Ohio shared on social media how the experience felt like being part of something greater than himself, noting that being in the arena surrounded by thousands of others experiencing the same emotions through the music fostered a sense of connection that is increasingly rare in today's society. However, this intense loyalty has a darker side, no doubt. The same fervor that fosters beautiful moments of togetherness can also heighten territorial instincts and lead to dangerous behaviors, especially when rival rap conflicts come into play. The ongoing feud with Lil Durk, stemming from the 2020 death of King Von and fueled by diss tracks, has turned concerts into proxy battlegrounds where fandom becomes a measure of loyalty. This situation goes beyond mere heated discussions. We are talking about real, physical confrontations, necessitating security intervention to prevent situations from escalating into potentially lethal outcomes. The demographic reality adds another layer of complexity. YoungBoy's appeal to Gen Z and younger millennials, many of whom are under 18, creates a volatile mix of unrestrained passion and impulsivity in venues that are often ill-prepared to manage it. These young fans view YoungBoy as a larger-than-life figure who embodies everything they aspire to be, successful against the odds, unapologetic about his origins, and defiant in the face of authority. Sometimes, this admiration manifests in ways that reflect the violence and aggression glorified in the music itself. Yet, amidst all the turmoil and controversy, there are significant moments of positive connection that highlight the redemptive potential at the core of this fandom. Throughout the MASA tour, YoungBoy has consistently taken breaks during performances to diffuse fights. We are a family here. Channel that energy into the music, not against one another. These interventions are effective. As the lights illuminate once more, the audience regroups and the performance resumes with a revitalized spirit centered on celebration instead of aggression. He has welcomed fans onto the stage for birthday acknowledgements, shared bread from stacks of cash taken from his pocket, and upheld his custom of surprise donations to local neighborhoods. In Atlanta, city officials caught him off guard during his performance with a peace pledge presented by State Representative Ingo Willis and other community leaders. YoungBoy appeared deeply moved, dedicating the encore to the children in attendance, striving for a better future, tossing signed merchandise into the audience, and embracing fans at the barrier. His legal history adds another layer to his narrative. From juvenile detention for robbery at 15 to attempted murder charges in Austin that led to an aggravated assault plea, to the notorious 2018 Miami hotel incident, where surveillance footage showed him dragging his then-girlfriend by her hair across the lobby, to federal firearms charges that culminated in a dramatic FBI chase and arrest in 2021. YoungBoy's criminal record resembles a cautionary tale. His federal case, which the FBI internally dubbed Operation Never Free Again, a term his lawyers deemed a prejudicial attack on his brand, resulted in house arrest in Utah, where he allegedly operated a prescription prescription drug fraud scheme. The charges ultimately led to federal sentencing of 23 months for firearms violations, followed by an early release to a halfway house in March 2025, and a contentious presidential pardon from Donald Trump in May 2025 that expunged his record and allowed the massacre to move forward. Critics labeled it as unwarranted leniency, while supporters from the streets characterized it as restorative justice for a black artist subjected to systemic prosecution. Each arrest, every controversy, and all scandals become intricately woven into the essence of his music and his allure. Fans do not perceive these events as disqualifying flaws in his character flaws. They are regarded as proof of authenticity, demonstrating that YoungBoy genuinely embodies the themes he raps about. His openness in confronting these challenges through his music, tracks where he reflects on the consequences of violence on his family, or lyrics about conversing with God while the devil whispers in his ear, creates an emotional connection that transforms concerts into experiences that go beyond mere entertainment. As of October 2025, with the massacre over halfway through, and streams increasing by 30% following New Orleans, NBA YoungBoy continues to demonstrate that his impact reaches well beyond the realm of music. He is influencing behaviors, shaping the emotional language of a generation, and fostering a subculture that serves as both a support network and a fan base emerging from the streets. Whether you perceive him as a victim of his circumstances or as the creator of his own turmoil, there is no denying the significant influence he has on hip-hop culture and the lives of countless young individuals from the hood who see their own experiences mirrored in his narrative. Thank you for watching. If you appreciated this video, please click on one of the boxes appearing on your screen to explore more related content.